Hi everyone, this is Benj and Gab from the New Earth channel, and today we're going to be talking to you guys about vibrations. So vibrations and frequencies are all around us and they are pretty much in everything, and it's so important for us to be aware of vibrations because it can really play a big effect on not only our bodies but our mental health and our spirituality. So firstly, what exactly are vibrations?
So vibrations are just energy. So if you think of energy, everything on this planet is energy. The chair that I'm sitting on, the thoughts, the words that we're saying, all are just energy.
Yeah, and I think Russell Brand said it perfectly in an interview when he said, we can't see atoms, but we know that they exist. It's the same with energy. We may not be able to see it, but we can definitely feel it, and it does play a big role in
our overall health and well-being, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. Yep. So the higher our vibration, the more healthier we are.
So when it comes to frequency, it is actually measured by the speed of vibration, and this is measured in megahertz.
Yes, that's correct. So I'll tell you just a few examples of, especially if you're at optimum health, you would be running at 62 to 70 megahertz. Disease starts at 58 megahertz. Someone that has got something like cancer would be operating at about 40. Someone that's terminally ill would be they'd be running at something like 25 megahertz.
So you can get high vibration and low vibration, and between the two there are certain things in our lifestyle that may be playing a role in determining your vibration or your energetic field. So first off, what are types of high vibration?
So in terms of food, because we are what we eat, if you think of things like raw foods, organic, plant-based, these things, or even superfoods, these things are all high vibrational. If we think in terms of something that's low, it's alcohol, caffeine, processed foods, meat, especially if it's not ethically sourced, these things are low vibrational.
Yeah, and you'll feel that, not only physically but also energetically, because you're consuming that energy, you're consuming the vibration of that food.
Yeah. And obviously things go through a process, especially if you're eating meat and things like that. So it's really about being mindful of that process and what it goes through to get to your plate, basically.
Yeah, which is a really cool little tip that I learned from a friend, that when you have food, to actually be able to heighten the vibration of that food whilst you're cooking it or preparing it.
Yeah.
And you can do this by simply visualizing giving energy, beautiful loving energy to that food, and you can rise the vibration of that food, which is going to be beneficial to your own health. Music is also a really great way to raise vibrations. That's why a lot of people tend to use classical music and meditation music for relaxation purposes. Also working with frequencies that are, I think it's 432 megahertz is a really good one, particularly for sleeping as well. So music in general is fantastic, and also sound therapies and sound baths.
Oh, absolutely, because they say sound heals at a cellular level. So things like sound baths with singing bowls, whether they're crystal or Tibetan, they will, they'll raise your vibration as well. Yeah.
Even, which I might even bring on the videos one day, is drums such as Gouda drums and Rav bass drums.
I have some singing bowls and I will be getting a set soon, so I guess stay tuned for a sound bath.
That'd be fun, sound bath would be cool. Exercise is a very obvious one that raises vibration. You feel this the moment you step outside and go for a nice walk, or you go to the gym and you feel very grounded. Yeah,
well physically, your body, especially after the gym or any exercise, your endorphins get going in your body, so you actually, that effect makes you feel really good, but it also shifts energy in your body as well.
Yeah.
Stagnant energy, negative energy.
You're shifting it, absolutely.
Yeah, getting rid of it.
Anything outside, guys, is amazing. Elements are incredible tools for helping you raise your vibration and heal any aspects of yourself. Elemental healing in itself is so powerful. So, you can raise vibration by literally standing out under the sun. Using sunlight to raise your vibration.
Drinking water, walking at the beach. These are all grounding things, but you're out in nature, you're breathing in fresh air.
Plants in the home?
Absolutely. Plants clean the air.
They
improve
do.
The air quality.
They purify vibration, much like crystals as well.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about crystals actually is crystals being such high vibration, they have the ability to transmit, they have the ability to absorb, they have the ability to rise vibration. So they are great tools to have in your home, in your workplace, or even on you to help with your vibration.
Yeah, empaths are like, they particularly will pick up the subtle energy of crystals, but some high vibe crystals are things like clear quartz, amethyst, selenite,
Rose quartz.
jade, rose quartz definitely.
Yep.
Herkimer diamond is very high vibrational.
Yep. Moldavite, dambarite, howlite. They're such beautiful crystals that are really such a high vibration. Particularly what I love about moldavite and dambarite and herkimer is they're such a high vibrational crystal that they pull your energy upwards so that you can reach that vibration. And on the other side, you have things like tourmaline, onyx, obsidian, smoky quartz.
Things to protect you from the lower vibrations
Yes.
or energies. Yeah.
So they have the ability to absorb and transmute energies on a lower vibration. So they're great for protection. If you're looking for ways to protect your energy, perhaps you're finding it hard in your current workplace, you're finding the environment or people that you're associating yourself with are on low vibration.
Yeah.
These crystals are fantastic to use.
Absolutely. There's some other high vibrational things are essential oils. Now, when you think about essential oils, they come from nature. Their essence is squeezed from whatever plant they're derived from.
Yeah.
So you can put them in a diffuser, you can put them on your body.
Yeah, and you feel so much better when you have diffusers and burning beautiful essential oils. You can have incense with similar extracts as well.
Yeah.
I love burning sage, frankincense.
Yeah, frankincense is beautiful.
lavender.
It's a very high vibrational oil. So is rose, and so is myrrh.
Yes, that's why rose essential oil is so expensive because
Ridiculously.
it's so good. I wish I had one, but I have to eat. Apparently, so. But yes, so working with your elements is fantastic. And when you're working with elemental healings, using the resources that we just touched on, you're able to extract those vibrations that come from natural sources, from organic sources as well.
So true.
Yeah. So that's why I love working with crystals, which we'll do a whole video talking about crystals and essential oils, but just touching on a little bit different ways you can incorporate such natural alternatives to helping your frequency.
Another thing that can raise your vibration is the laws of karma or giving back.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Yes, that's
So
true.
giving back, you don't have to be part of a charity, or it doesn't have to be monetary or things like that.
It could be a smile.
Could be simple as a smile.
Yeah.
That's right. You might see someone and you've never had a conversation. Just say hello. That can actually improve some's day.
Yeah, I remember I was in Savers, which if you never heard of Savers, it's an op shop in Adelaide, and I was like in the book section, and I was reading a book, and this lady, I've never met her before.
Did you feel weird when you walked in?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, because you're touching things, and particularly books, because most of the time when people leave energy behind with books, they've given emotion and investment to that book. So I was like reading the back of the cover, and this lady's just like, a little bit further down, she's like, that's a good book, and we started having a good chat, and she goes, this is something about that book that I just love, and maybe I need to read it again. And I look at her and I'm like, maybe there's something in it, and she comes up to me and we're both like looking at the book together, and she just walked off smiling, and I walked off smiling, because we both had this beautiful exchange of a conversation about a common interest. And I think, like, how many times have you smiled at someone, or someone's done something nice, like open the door for you? You feel that energy connection on a high vibration. You feel good, they feel good. It just leaves such a beautiful energy. Probably would have been like a week ago. I was walking to my car and someone left a beautiful note, and I'm still trying to figure out who it is, because thank you so much for leaving it. They left this beautiful note on my windscreen, and it said on this little card, your bumper sticker made my day. And okay, so the sticker stuck to my windscreen. I'm still trying to get it out, but it's okay. We'll figure that out later. My bumper sticker says powered by plants, because I'm vegan, and I thought it was hilarious. When I was at a vegan festival, I was like, powered by plants, put it back in my car. And I could not stop smiling of someone giving a little bit of time out of their day to leave a beautiful note about how my bumper sticker made their day.
Yeah, that's
And
nice.
so, and then I remember
Something you don't even think of.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And I shared it with my friends, and like I remember just like smiling the whole day.
Yeah.
And I actually still have it with me in my car. But that just goes to show that ripple effect when you have the power to create happiness in someone else's life, even if it's just for a couple of seconds or a day, a smile walking past someone that kind of distracts them from their everyday life.
Yeah, the other day my neighbour did something really nice for me, and I went out to collect my bins, and I went out there and they were already put away, and I actually thought, I'm sure I didn't do that, but yeah, it was my neighbour, which I don't speak to. We might say hi every now and then, or when we see each other, but yeah, I thought it was a lovely thing, and it can be a simple gesture as something like that, you know, something that makes you feel good, and you know, certainly grateful afterwards.
Absolutely. And if you were to broaden this out to a wider perspective of community, you know, imagine what we could do if we all treated each other with high vibrational love and light. Imagine what the community and unity
The world would
bring.
be a different place, simply.
So, and we're already kind of seeing that. We saw this a lot during the Australian bushfires, of how much people were coming together and supporting each other.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
You know, like we are definitely capable of doing it on a larger scale, and you don't have to be, you know, at a high status to be able to do this. You can literally do this by smiling at people more, saying hello to people more, giving that beautiful high vibrational energy, especially to those who need it most.
Yeah, exactly. Now, meditation is high vibrational, and I mean, you know, they say when you meditate, it actually has like a ripple effect on the people around you. And I know I can speak for myself here. When I started going through my awakening, my housemate started. Her vibration started to increase too, because I was meditating and I was increasing my vibration. You know, they say one person in every 100 will actually make a difference.
Yeah.
Which will shift consciousness. So yeah, it's a really interesting thing.
Exactly. And on the other spectrum, where it comes to low vibration, is much like a ripple effect. If you have someone that is bringing bad energy into a space, and a lot of people can react to that, it's very similar on the other end. And you see this a lot with residual energy, particularly in a home or an office space. People bringing in bad energy or low vibrational energy, and even when they leave, you can still feel that dense energy. And I've experienced this in workplaces before, where I was getting really, really sick in particular workplaces, and when I leave that workplace, I never get sick. Or I was finding between certain hours of the day, I was experiencing particular emotions and particular feelings. But when I was out of that workplace, it wouldn't be happening like that. And it just goes to show how powerful residual energy can attach itself to locations.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
As you increase your vibration, what ends up happening as well, you start to attract like-minded people. And this could be known as like your soul group. That's what they talk about. You start to, you know, they say that we attract who we are, basically. So, you know, if you're a positive person, laws of attraction, you're going to attract the same sort of person. So it's the same with vibration. Yeah.
And you see this a lot too, is if you were to, like, how many times I can say for myself, is when you're like, why is it I'm attracting these same kind of circumstances, or these same kind of relationships, or these same kind of people, or these same kind of whatever. And half the time, or most of the time, it is your own vibration.
Yes.
And you are attracting that because there's something that you might need to work on, or there's something you need to bring into awareness. Yeah. And when you surround yourself with high vibrational people, you can also affect other high vibrational people, and then they can affect other high vibrational. It's like just a domino effect. Yeah.
Ripple effect.
Yeah, exactly. And when you surround yourself with that, I mean, when I started to resonate with more high vibrational, not only people, but also situations, the low vibrational things became a lot more into my awareness, to the point where I no longer had any interest in it.
They kind of drop away in their own way as well. It's not like a force. For me, it wasn't a force thing.
No,
you know,
you don't really have to do too much.
No,
really.
no, they just, things that don't serve you anymore kind of just drop away from your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Without you doing anything too, you know.
You don't. No. And I found this a lot when I was coming into more of an alignment, and I suddenly had no interest in drinking. I had no interest in drinking. I had no interest in staying up late. I had no interest in going out partying or anything like that. And I found myself detaching from some friendships. And it wasn't a bad term. It was just, we just never spoke as much anymore. I wasn't getting invited to places, and I started to get invited to other events and started meeting new people and starting to more, I guess, align myself with the energy that I was putting out there. And it's crazy how much you can attract, or the things that you can attract when you align yourself with that energy and aware of the energy that you're attracting.
Exactly. As your vibration increases, you start experiencing synchronicities, things like that.
Yeah.
I know in my own experience, you're young once and you're like to go out and have a good time, but I'm the same. I can't really, as soon as I walk into a nightclub now, I feel the negative energy.
Yes.
Because you don't know, you think about what goes on in there.
That's true.
Drunk people taking drugs,
alcohol,
things like that.
Drugs.
All those vibrational things. And you pick up in that, You pick up that vibration with people.
And all those things lower your vibration.
And it doesn't feel good.
So, no, it doesn't at all.
It doesn't feel good.
You don't feel good I don't feel good in the moment. I certainly don't feel good the next morning.
Yeah.
And I've experienced
that's
this
right.
before.
I get kicked in the butt.
You do, and you're like,
if I drink too much.
Yes. Yeah. And you notice sometimes when people suddenly, they're lovely people and they're just happy as Larry, but when they drink, they become extremely angry or become extremely obnoxious. And
the devil's poison, it's actually called.
Yeah. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And that's you see this a lot in terms of people who do this regularly, and it starts to take a toll on their bodies. It takes a toll on how they project their feelings and how they express themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So it has a big effect, and I think that when you become in attunement, the more you're in high vibrational energy, it's like, I don't really want to be around low vibrational things anymore. I'm not interested in doing things that are not going to give me value in my life. So it's almost like a repellent.
Yes.
Without even knowing it is.
Exactly.
So, and also staying up late. So sleep is a really
sleep
good
is a
way.
big thing,
yeah.
Especially physically, but spiritually as well.
Yes. Yeah. And what I have found really helps is at night time, doing your affirmations, doing journaling, and doing all those beautiful things that are going to help ground you and keep you present, connected, and releasing any of those emotions that you may have experienced in that day, any yucky, low vibrational things you may have experienced in your day, clearing that before you go to sleep.
Displaying gratitude as well, journaling, yes, things like that. But, displaying gratitude either in the morning or in the evening is very good, very high vibrational. A good exercise to do, especially, if you've got a partner, a loved one, tell them 5 things you're grateful for before you go to bed. It's a beautiful thing, because it attracts, it keeps you out of the lack mode, all right? And you start to appreciate what you have rather than what you don't have.
Yeah, exactly.
And it attracts more positive experience to be grateful for.
Exactly. Yeah. And that kind of works very similar with forgiveness. Forgiveness works on a level of unconditional love. And you say it very greatly when you say that it takes more energy to hold on to it.
It takes a lot more energy to hold on to something rather than let it go. So forgiveness is such a beautiful thing to be able to do in a situation. Yeah. It's one of those lessons that we learn in life. But it's forgiveness is very high vibrational.
And that's the thing sometimes when we're working with past emotions. If we're not allowing ourselves to really release low vibrational emotions in the moment, we can find ourselves holding on to that dormant, stagnant or blocked energy. Yeah. And we can kind of become victim to that or held hostage to that emotion.
Exactly.
And that vibration gets to a point where it surrounds us and it repels other people from us. People don't want to be around us, so we're finding that the universe is not giving us what we think that we want, when really
it's us.
It's working on our own frequency. It's working on the vibration that's around us.
Yeah, victim and lack, if that's what you're in, that's what you're going to attract.
Exactly right. Speaking of which, low vibration. And this is something that we might find in particular conversations. Like if you're having an argument with someone, that's a low vibration. Gossiping is another really low vibration as well.
Most definitely. You know, I think when people talk negatively, it actually breeds negativity, you know, and, you know, things like gossip, bitchiness, things like that are just, very, very low vibrational. And you'll feel that, you know, you'll feel that within a group of people, and you'll want to walk away from it. So,
like how many times have you you've walked into a space and you're like,
you could cut the air with a knife,
and you're like, what happened here? You're feeling that vibration, and low vibration is quite dense and quite tense.
Don't get involved. Don't, you know, walk away from it, basically, is the best thing to do. Yeah.
And if this is being projected at you, send love and light, because people who are in those kind of situations or are dishing out that kind of negativity,
they're the ones that need the love.
They need love the most. So it's really important to be aware.
So true.
Of who you're surrounding yourself with and the conversations that you're having with these people as well.
Yeah. And those low vibrational people, they'll slowly, you know, drift away from your life, basically. The universe kind of sorts that out for you.
Yeah. And this is something also with energy vampires, because from my experience, energy vampires pull or absorb energy, and you usually find this a lot with empaths. They'll do this typically with people who are working on that high vibration, and they will try to absorb or pull energy, which is where you kind of feel drained and things like that.
Yeah, so, you know, as your vibration increases, you start to attract the lower vibrational people more so. So it's very important that you learn how to protect yourself from that, which, you know, you can simply do by doing a grounding, protecting meditation daily.
Yeah. Visualization is really good as well.
Yeah. Running into the toilet and visualizing a sphere of gold light around you.
Yes. Or just giving them lots of pink light. I love doing that one where you're just giving them lots of pink light.
Focusing on the word love.
Yes.
That's high vibrational.
Yeah.
In your mind. Yeah.
Or just, and unfortunately this is something on more of the extreme side, but perhaps you may have to make certain decisions in your life, whether a particular person or a situation or a lifestyle is serving you for your highest of good. And if it's not, is it necessary?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you giving it permission to lower your vibration?
The universe will weed those things out for you, especially when you're going through spiritual ascension. It will, you know, once your vibration increases, things will start to drop away, things that no longer serve you.
Yes. And this is why empaths, it's a little bit hard with us empaths, because we're like a sponge, like we just soak up things a lot easier in terms of energy. So it's really important that we are aware of what we're surrounding ourselves with, and whether the energy we're feeling is actually coming from us. Yeah.
Exactly. Because sometimes it isn't from us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the other person. Yeah.
Like you could be walking in a shopping centre and you're just like, oh my God, I just feel really drained, or I'm like really irritated, or I'm really annoyed. And then you get home, you're like, oh, I feel better.
Yeah.
Is it you, or is it the shopping centre? Or is it the people in the shopping centre? Or is it the energy that's left behind with all people hurrying and rushing around, or people, whatever, doing what they're doing? Is it you, or is it the circumstance or the place that you're surrounding yourself in? So how do we become more aware of vibrations in space, which is so important? As I said before, if you can master your own energy, things can happen for you. So how do we, I guess, become more aware of vibration?
So it's really about, you know, listening to your own body and, you know, and how you're feeling at the time. You know, you could be walking into a room and then suddenly feel off, and it's like you could be picking up on low vibrational energy. So it really is about trusting that gut feeling that you're getting wherever you are.
So important to trust your gut feeling.
Yeah.
And most of the time you're right. Like how many times have you done something and you're like, when you do it, you're like, I shouldn't have done that. Or I had this feeling about that person, or I had a feeling. If you have a feeling, it's for a reason. And that's why when you are working with your intuition and you're developing that strong attunement with yourself, it's going to play a big role in understanding that energy. And if you're finding it difficult to shift your own energy, or you're finding it difficult to be aware of why you're feeling the way you're feeling in terms of your energy, that's when you can come and see people like Benj and I for healings. And we can help you with that process.
Exactly. We do, you know, healing in our homes. We also do distant healing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we help people not only understand the origin of the energy or vibration around them or in their fields, but we help those people clear that energy so that they can be in a lot more alignment.
On the topic of energy healing, a lot of people ask what we actually do. Things like Reiki, all we're doing is we're tuning into energy or life force basically, and we're recycling that through the body, removing negative and replacing it with love and light basically.
Yes. Yeah. So understanding your energy is so important, because if you understand it, you can control it. And understanding your energy means spending that time with yourself, which can be really hard for some people. Sometimes it's really hard to sit with yourself with zero distractions and actually acknowledge what your energy is trying to tell you.
Well, as you raise your vibration, you actually start to pull away from things, and you do you look for that solitude. You actually crave it.
Yeah.
So, when you the answers are inside of you basically. And when you spend that time with yourself, that's when, you get all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as you can imagine, we have had our own fair share of dealing with high vibration and low vibration, not only with the work that we do, but also in everyday life. And particularly you find this a lot with empaths and light workers and healers and people coming into that spiritual attunement. They pick up on a lot more, and we've got stories to tell you. So
we've all had those friends where they're very high energy, very positive, and when you spend time with them, you feel so good when you're around them. But I'll give you an example of a low vibrational person. I was at work a couple of years ago anyway. I was a flight attendant, and I went to serve this person, and as I turned to them to ask them what they would like, their energy, it was almost repugnant, to the point that I had to take a step back and think, oh my God, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Anyway, I sort of, I went to serve her again, and as I did that, she'd stood up, and I noticed she had cut marks all up her arms, and I thought, this woman has got something medically wrong with her.
Yeah, okay.
So, I was picking up on her energy, and, I actually felt sorry for the girl, but that's
what you initially were picking up on?
That's what I was picking up on, yeah.
Wow.
I've got another example. Actually, I was at work with a colleague. Anyway, we were in the back galley after service. Anyway, this colleague, I stood next to this colleague, and I actually felt really, really sad. Like I was going to burst into tears. Anyway, I walked through the cabin to get away from it. And anyway, I went back down there later on in the flight, and we both looked at each other and both just started bawling our eyes out. And I said to her, what is going on with you? And she was like, oh my God, I'm fighting with my partner, and it's a mess, it's a mess. And I was picking up on her vibration. When you think of things like the laws of attraction, if you're operating at a low vibration, what do you think you're going to attract? Because we are what we attract.
Mm-hmm.
If you're high vibrational, you're going to attract the same like-minded person.
And you're going to
Positive
become
experience.
A lot more in tuned with what you don't want. I remember when I first came to Adelaide, and when you're 18 and you're excited about life as an adult and you drink yourself silly, and I got to a point where I just hated drinking, and I didn't like going out. I didn't like going to nightclubs. I still don't. I don't really like being around large groups of people because I always feel really drained, and I never really knew why until I kind of figured, after the work that I've been doing and speaking with a lot of people such as yourself, that being around particular locations, say like a nightclub where everyone's drinking.
I agree with you 100% with this. Yeah.
And not only just drinking like in a pub where you have a couple of drinks with your food, but drinking heavily.
Yeah.
Imagine
plus other people take drugs and things like that as well. Yes. So you're walking straight into that.
Yeah, and I always find,
very low vibration.
People who are like normal, happy, when they drink, they change. Yeah. Why? Why do people change like that? And can you imagine being in a space where people are already physically consuming low vibration with alcohol or drugs, and they're in an environment where they are unfortunately around other people doing the exact same thing. You can feel that, and that's why I never really resonated with going out to clubs and stuff. And particularly drinking. Like I don't drink, and whenever I do drink, I can feel myself go into a low vibration.
Yeah, I know. With me, I used to do all that stuff, and you know, but now I can't, because I think, you know, I've done some work on myself and I can kind of differentiate the two. And I don't want to be in that environment because it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it doesn't serve you in any way. You know, I don't think it does.
It doesn't feel good at all.
That actually reminds me, oh my gosh, this is an amazing story. Once I kind of eliminated a lot of those low vibrational aspects of my life, I remember I was developing my business, and I started to attract a lot of high vibrational people on social media. One in particular, a very dear friend of mine, she's definitely my soul sister, Amelia, who I'm sure you'll see on this channel many times because she's a beautiful soul. And she invited, I never met her, and she invited me to this Soul Sisters group where we were going to meet at Botanical Gardens, and I was a little bit nervous because I was like, I don't know who you are. You know, I can get kidnapped. This could be anything. Wasn't, thankfully. And I'll never forget. Trust. See? And I'll never forget when we all met each other. Every single one of those girls was such high vibration, and I just wasn't used to being in a space where it was so high vibration with everyone on that same level. And they honestly changed my life because I began to attract people of high vibration. I started to surround myself with certain situations that were high vibration. Things started to work out for me in terms of my business and finance. You bring in so much abundance when you surround yourself with high vibration. And I think a lot of it comes from manifesting that law of attraction.
We're coming into alignment as well.
Yeah.
You know, once you're in alignment, then the right things come to you.
Yeah, I just found it so interesting.
Facets of your life, yeah.
Yeah. Just being in that space. And perhaps you've experienced this before, where you've met someone, or perhaps your group of friends or your family are such high vibration that you feel that energy shift. You feel yourself become this, you know, such a happy person. You can feel it in your heart. Whether it's the reverse and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, I feel like I can't breathe. I want to like run away from the situation. Whatever the circumstances is, you can feel it, and you can definitely tap into it more. And the more you tap into it, the more consciously you can bring in that abundance into your life.
Okay everyone, if you find value in our video, please like, share, subscribe down there below. We'll be doing weekly updates on videos with mind, body and soul.
And next week's video, we are talking about manifestation. So what is manifestation and how to bring it into your life? So on that note, I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Sending you so much love and light.
Love and light, peeps. Namaste.
Bye.